Okay, well, thank you again for joining me, and I'm
You're
excited
welcome.
about, the topic
Me
because
too.
even for me, like my daughter is going to be one
Mm-hmm.
this week actually, and I can't believe it. Like
Oh,
time goes,
should be one this week.
yes,
Wow, time flies.
yes, time goes so fast,
Yeah.
and I when I look back, I think about, the very first child and the many challenges that come with it. Of course, the second child also comes with its own challenges, but
Yeah.
I
But it's a
think
bit
by that
easier,
time,
right?
yeah, by that time you have adjusted
Yeah.
yourself a little
Yeah.
more, so
Yeah.
you kind of get used to it. The topic for today is tips for parents of young children.
You're
And do you
welcome.
want to introduce yourself quickly before we get started?
My name is Patience Coleman.
Hmm.
And just like Masato was saying, we've known each other from creche, probably just about the time we both stopped wearing diapers.
That's very true.
Yeah, till now. And I'm a mom of two girls. The eldest is 4 years and the youngest is 3 years. So they're just about 15 months
Wow,
apart.
wow, wow.
And
You are
then,
super
yeah.
mom, back to
Oh
back.
man.
Yeah.
God has been good. So I am currently in the final semester of my PhD. And yeah, it hasn't been easy. If you ask me how I did it, I wouldn't know what to say.
Mm.
But I
Yeah.
just know that like God has been good.
Amen. Thank you so much for even being here once again.
Yeah,
So,
no worries.
Patience, like she said, she's doing her PhD program. And then I think you had a baby from the beginning, right?
When I started, I was 3 months pregnant.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I had, yeah, the first one 6 months afterwards. And then
Right.
I had the second one 15 months afterwards. So I've had both of them whilst doing the PhD.
Wow. So now that we have the introduction out of the way, so as a mom doing your PhD program, do you have help at home?
So I should say that my husband and I, we both had some help.
Okay.
My mom came to be with us
Right.
for 2 years, but not consecutive, like not continuously. She
Continuous.
came
Okay.
for a year and then she had to go back and then come
Okay.
back for another year. So yeah, we've had a bit of help. But
Okay.
even with that,
So,
mom is still mom.
yeah. Yeah.
You still have to do your duties. Yeah,
Exactly.
but we're really grateful that she was able to come to help
Right.
because
Okay.
it helped us a lot, not just our time, but also
Hmm.
financially.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
financially, because the daycares
It's
cost a lot.
expensive.
It's really
Yes.
expensive.
Right.
It is really
Wow.
expensive.
Wow. And
Yeah.
even I'm sure like times she was away, you guys still had to figure out a way
Oh yeah,
to
when she
keep
was away,
going.
we had to take them to the daycare because then there was no
Hmm.
budget. Yeah,
Okay.
because my husband works full time, like regular hours, Monday to Friday. And
Okay.
I'm also in school regular hours, Monday to Friday. Sometimes I go early, stay late when my mom was around.
Hmm.
But when she left, I have to stick to the regular hours. So during that
Right.
time, they have to go to the daycare.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
for a typical day where they don't have to be in daycare,
Mm-hmm.
let's say on the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you still have stuff to be
Oh
writing
yeah,
and all that. How is a
yeah.
typical day with the kids at home like?
I'm on my feet all day.
Uh-huh.
So even though I try to get a bit more sleep,
Mm-hmm.
because they also started going to the daycare,
Mm-hmm.
they stopped sleeping in. They used to be able they used to be able to sleep in until 10,
Mm-hmm.
but now by 8 they're up. Sometimes I have to
Oh.
ignore them,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can try to catch some Z's before I wake up, because I know that when I get up it will be non-stop until I go back to
Right.
bed. And it's also the time where I usually prepare my meals for the week.
Right. Okay.
But sometimes I have to bring work home.
Mm-hmm.
So I work in the evening, sometimes, not always,
Okay.
because usually like I'm tired when I'm back
Mm-hmm.
from school, because So usually my husband and I, we both chip in to get them ready for the daycare. But his work starts earlier than mine.
Okay.
An hour earlier than mine. So, and the daycare is closer to my school.
Okay.
Yeah, we made that arrangement so that usually they used to call a lot, like when somebody has a fever or something, then we have to go get them. So the daycare is closer to my campus.
Okay.
So he helps me get them ready, and then he leaves, and then I go drop them off. And unfortunately, I'm allowed to park there for free.
Okay.
So I park there, and then I walk to catch a bus or just walk to school.
Okay.
And then I get my exercise, my daily exercise from that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, because I can't really make any other time to exercise. I try, but it's not always easy. But if I'm able to walk, at least I know I'm exercising every day.
Yeah, I can definitely connect with that. So actually 3 important points that I think you actually came up with was the fact that find a day that works for you, that you prepare your meals. Like you can't cook every day.
No, so, you cannot.
Yes.
You cannot.
So that's tip number 1. If you're a new mom and you are listening, find a day that works for you. Prepare, how many variety of meals that you want and freeze them. And then I think the other one that you talked about was the collaboration between you and your husband. Like you
can't do it alone. But I think I'm going away from the question a bit. It has to be like the weekend, right?
Yeah, typical. Yes, with the kids.
Yeah. So when I wake up in the morning, when they wake me up, I take them to the washroom. They know what to do, like sit on the potty, take off their clothing, and then I still brush their teeth because I think they still can't do it well at this stage. Right. Sometimes I just let them play with it, and then I take over.
And then you take over. Yeah.
I take over. So I do that for them, and then freshen them up, get them dressed. We come downstairs, I prepare their breakfast, and no matter what they eat, no matter what quantity they eat, they always have to have waffles after that. With lots of syrup.
Yeah.
So I get that for them, and then I let them play with their toys or with their books or whatever. I let it be a while before I turn on the TV for them. Because I try not to make it their whole thing.
Their go-to,
their go-to thing. Sometimes if they misbehave, like the whole day, they don't get to watch TV.
Okay.
So after eating,
I
let them be around for a while, and then I turn on the TV for them, and then I start my other job, cleaning, washing dishes, doing the dishes, cooking.
Okay.
So just before
that's typically on a Saturday, right?
Typically on a Saturday. Okay. Just before I came to city, I just finished making jollof rice. That's Ghana jollof.
Right. Yay.
And we are done with this meeting. I'm hoping not to feel sleepy. I have to go make stew and then soup.
Wow.
And then that is usually good enough to get us going at least until Wednesday. Usually I make at least another meal within the weekdays. But then typically on a Saturday, it's all cooking, all cleaning bathroom, everywhere. Because I like to rest on a Sunday. I like to do so many things. I realize that even though we are home on the weekend, we don't really get time to be with the kids because we are still working.
That's true.
They are right there, right? A lot of time when I'm cooking, they come to the kitchen, like they come to the door of the kitchen. They are not allowed to enter. They come to the door of the kitchen, telling me stuff, asking me stuff. And then it hits me like, oh, I'm here, but I'm not with them.
Yeah.
So I try to do everything on a Saturday so that on the Sunday, when we come back from church, I am with them.
Right.
Yeah, until I have to iron their stuff for the week and get them ready for the next day.
Wow. So that's a lot of tips right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So definitely doing the cooking. I'm trying to get all the tips from, from your daily, a typical weekend or a typical day with the kids. And I like the fact that you actually also think deliberately on ways to spend quality time with them. Because I think that is an easy mistake that we all can do, especially like when everything is just trying to pull your time. and you are doing this, you're trying to do work, you're trying to get rest, you're trying to put in exercise.
Important, right?
Yes.
To keep yourself going too.
And also helps you mentally. For me, like I like the fact that you said for you, after you drop them off from at the daycare, you get to walk to campus.
At least half an hour. Yep.
Yes. For me, what I do early morning, so I have to wake up very early because if I can do any exercise those days. But so when I wake up, I try to combine it with something I have to do, like listening to messages or even listen to audio Bible, and I can literally walk in my living room. So I know
you have to make do.
Walking outside, but at least it's better.
You have to make do.
Anything. Yeah, exactly. So I literally can walk in my living room for 30 minutes or even 1 hour. Like I'll be listening to sermons from some of my favorite preachers. Instead of me just sitting down, I'll just be walking around at a steady pace in my living room, and that works for me. That has been working for me.
So far as you're getting your steps.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so that's great. So definitely have a structure for your days so that you know how things are going. And by having structure, you'll be able to put in deliberate deliberate items or things that you want to see in your family. Okay, so what are some of the challenges that you have as a mom with little ones?
I think first of all, even though I cannot control it, it's time.
Yes.
I'm almost out of time. I always want other people's time to my own, but unfortunately, you can't take time from anyone. Yeah.
Right.
So
time is a big one for everyone.
Time is the main constraint. And then I think I didn't figure out how to compartmentalize my day on the go. It took me a while.
Okay.
It took me a while. It took some failed efforts too, because sometimes I try to do a whole lot of things at once, and sometimes you end up not doing them well, especially like with cooking. I used to try to make 3 meals at the same time, but you can burn 2. So I stopped doing that. Now I cook one after the other.
Right. Okay.
And then the other one I would say is how to discipline them, because we have this fear that we don't want them to be, how do I say it? Like spoiled, right? So we want them to behave properly. We want them to understand, some certain eye movements when you're in public and everything. Even though sometimes they pretend not to see you, but they know what you're trying to tell them. So I realized at a point that I think I was shouting at them too much.
Doing too much, yes.
Shouting, because I used to spank them quite a bit. But I thought, what is the point? They know that if they do this, you just spank them and then
they go back
they go back to doing it. So it's just trying to balance, the spanking, the talking to, and not shouting, because I realized that I shout a lot.
Pretty easy to do the same thing that we grew up
your parents
with. So that is very true. I think I can relate. I can relate to that.
Yeah, because we both have young ones, right?
Right, exactly. And I think one of the things that even for me in that sense was, as they are growing, instead of spanking, it's also part of the training, but also learning to talk to them at their level. Yeah. That has been something that,
Yeah. Sometimes I realize that all they just need is a hug.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe they just want their attention, You think that, it's a weekend, I'm here with them, but you're actually not with them.
That's
so
true.
They'll be crying, hitting one another, complaining, Mommy, my sister hit me, my sister kicked me, my sister that. All they just want is maybe a hug, or so sometimes I stop the cooking, I go to sit with them maybe like for 5 minutes,
right?
And then I get back up, and then
that's
continue,
very true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Stuff. Yeah.
They say that I don't remember the quotes, but like when someone is crying out, sometimes it's another language for
Yeah.
them needing
Yeah.
something, but
Something.
they can't say. So it's a way of
Yeah.
trying to get your attention.
Exactly.
That's a very good point. So no matter how busy you are,
you just
when
have
they
to try.
it's kind of like
if it's just like, even sometimes maybe like just a minute, 30 seconds, you just hug them, you rub their backs, and then they go. They're fine. Yeah. Because sometimes, they do some things, and I know that I have all rights to give them a good knock or spanking, but well, I don't knock them though. I think that is it's not good for their heads. But you know that you should give them a spanking, but sometimes you just rub their backs. Even though what they did was wrong.
Right. That's very good. Showing grace to them. And usually they will know.
They would, because
they know
after
that they don't deserve that hug.
They know. And then they feel guilty.
And then they say, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I tell them, oh, it's okay. And then I'll ask them, so you're not going to do it again, right? They'll be like, no, so they understand it. But if I had to like give them a spanking, it will take a long time for them to actually understand.
That's true.
That, or sometimes with the spanking, they just know that this is wrong. But then what? After that, what? It's wrong. But then what next? Yeah. So like, I like the way you said, like, you show them grace.
Talking.
I've never really thought about it like that.
Show grace. And one thing that I have also learned, even with the training, has been that whatever I want to see in them, I have to show it to them.
Yeah, like, you have to be it. That's true.
Yeah, exactly. If I want them. So one of the things that you often see when I'm talking to my daughter, like I use please, thank you. And that's what not all
I
the
do
time,
the same
even
too.
though
and sometimes you know that they are learning it, because sometimes, when your youngest one starts talking, you would know, because my eldest sometimes tells my younger one, don't do that. Mommy said not to do this. Say please. Say sorry. You know? Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'll be like, say sorry to me.
Just like mommy tells me.
Yeah, say sorry to me. And I'm thinking, okay. That's one way of demanding an apology. Say sorry to me.
Yeah. So as far as the challenges, like you mentioned, time is a big challenge. And also in the Department of Discipline, trying to find the balance of how much do you use, the rod, and how much do you have to just,
show them grace.
And also realizing that they're also human beings, they are not just, they are human beings who have feelings, who go through stuff. Some of the issues may look very little, but it's issues.
Yeah, because that is the size of their world, right? Sometimes you would think that. Sometimes I tell them that, trust me when I tell you that you don't have a problem, but she has a. She has a problem, but you think she has no problem.
Right.
And, I sat down one time and I was thinking, okay, so in her little world, that is an issue. That is something that she's probably having sleepless nights over. And I'm here telling her to trust me that she has no problem, because I'm comparing it to my world, which I try not to do. I try to take the world seriously.
Don't compare.
No.
Yes. I remember one time my daughter after school, right? I think they were allowed to press a gift something, and she had wanted to press the button, but they didn't allow her, or she didn't ask. She thought they would call her, and so she was just crying. I just wanted to tell her that please stop crying. But I just had to hold her and hug her and say, oh no, they didn't allow you. Tomorrow
you have to empathize.
So I show empathy to them and show to them that yes, that is an issue, and you're going to help them solve that issue.
Yeah, it doesn't help when we belittle their problem.
That is very true. That is very true. Okay. So what are some of the ways that you have been able to overcome these challenges as far as like time management? What are some of the tools or things that you have learned over time to help you do as much as possible? I know by the end of the day, you probably have like hundreds of stuff on your to-do list, but what are some of the things that has helped you
So what I learned along the way was that I used to do a lot of working in the evenings before. Now I have really cut back on it because I realized that it wasn't helping. It would definitely help me get ahead in school, but then I'll get stressed out because I don't have enough time to do home stuff. And then I carry that stress over to school.
Okay.
So you're not doing well both ways. So when I'm in school, I try to do as much as I can. And then when I'm home, I'm home. I do as much as I can. If, for instance, I feel like this weekend I have to cook, but then I also have to clean the washrooms and everything. Instead of doing everything on a Saturday, one of the evenings, if I'm not too tired, after putting the kids to bed, or even before, the bathrooms are not really, honestly, are not difficult to clean. So maybe I'll do hours one night. Another night I'll do the kids' own. Another time I'll do the visitors' own. So that on Saturday I just have time to cook. Then I'm not doing so many things at once. Yeah, because then you can get tired also, and you may fall sick. If you're trying to do like Supermom or if you're trying to do everything, you may fall sick. So I've tried to keep school things in school, even though it's not always possible, honestly. Sometimes before I sleep, I sit up in bed and then I do something, but I make sure that I'm not staying up too late. I used to sleep earliest 12 midnight.
Wow.
And wake up at 6, but it wasn't really helping because I'd feel tired in school. So now I try to sleep at 10 p.m. Doesn't always work, but I try. Yeah. So I'm getting a bit more sleep.
Make time for rest.
Yeah. It's really important. Because it affects your mood and everything too.
That's true. That's very true. And I think there is a mistake in thinking that you need more time, so use as much time as possible. But in order to
function as a human,
well and effectively do the things that you have to do even quicker, you have to have rested, a rested body, a rested mind. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. Another thing that I also try to do, especially with my cooking, is our cooking. Those of us from Africa, our cooking takes forever. Our cooking takes a long time. So, for instance, today I had to do the jollof. So last night, when I came home, like I don't have to prep much for the next day because it's the weekend.
Right.
So, after giving the kids their dinner and also having mine, I cut up my meat. I marinated it, so that job is taken off. So today I just had to cook it up a bit, fry it, and then get my jollof done. So it didn't take me as long. So I'm trying to do a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
I was supposed to say, I also learned that from one of my friends. She's a woman at my church. Before, I would go shopping, and on that same day,
I used to do that. I used to do that, and I would be so exhausted sometimes to the point of passing out. I used to do that. Grocery shopping. Sometimes we think it's like, you are going to get stuff, but it takes hours. It takes hours, and the walking. We have divided our shopping into 3. My husband does shopping from one store. You have Costco in the US, I think.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so he does Costco, and then I do the African market and Superstore, which is another regular supermarket. And then that is the Superstore one. That is the bulk of our grocery. That's where you get fresh produce and all other stuff. It takes hours. It takes hours. And at first, I used to go to the African market. I used to go to Superstore all in the same day. I'll come back and then Superwoman, I'm going to cook. And then by the time I'm done, sometimes my feet would even be a bit swollen. So I realized that it wasn't good for me. So now I do the shopping.
We need to take care of ourselves too.
You have to. I don't combine them anymore.
Yeah,
I don't do that anymore. It's I don't know, somehow it takes us a while to figure it out.
I don't know. It feels like it become naturally, but sometimes you are used to a certain way from
doing
how you
stuff.
grew up, that
Yeah,
that's the only way that you
yeah,
are thinking. So
yeah,
I like that you are sharing this so that other people who probably had not thought about that
yeah,
could consider that.
yeah.
So, like I was saying, I learned it from an older woman who has been doing that. Like, I went to her home,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something, anytime I go and visit someone, like, I'm always learning, you know,
Yeah,
because I feel like
yeah, yeah.
there's always something to learn.
I go to people's homes to learn new recipes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. And what she does is she shops on a different day, and then on another day, she will like cut them up and marinate
yep,
the stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And then on the day of cooking, it's like just mix them up. So sometimes when
exactly.
I visit her, she's like, "Oh, I'm now coming to cook." I'm like, "It's going to take hours." She's like, "Oh, don't
No,
worry, everything."
no, because everything is done, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
everything is done.
And even like our onions and tomatoes, you can kind of cook it up a little bit and
Yeah,
store them
and
in
then keep
the
it. Yeah,
And so
yeah.
when you need them for your stews, you can just
You
store
just pick
them
it.
and then
Yeah.
put it in, and you are
You
good to
know, I like this drink from back home, Sobolo,
go.
the hibiscus tea
Okay.
drink, but I never knew how to make it. Not knowing was really simple, you know. There's this lady, Sweet Ajeli, I'm sure you know of her
I
channel.
post a lot of stuff on here.
Yeah, because I'm always trying to learn how to make new stuff. You know, they get fed up quickly with one kind of food,
That's
so you
very
always have to
true. That's
mix it
very
up. So yeah, I'm on a lot of food channels. I don't try everything I post though. Sometimes it's just nice. I mean, I don't have the time to do
yeah.
everything. So I picked that recipe from her channel, and then the first time I did it, it took me a while because I had to do everything at the same time. So what I did in the next time was instead of preparing like small amounts of spices, I actually blended a lot. And then I used what I had to do one time and then kept the remaining in the freezer. So the next time I'm making sobolo, it took me minutes, like maybe a third of the time that I spent the very first time. So yeah, the woman that you visit, very, very smart thing to do. It really helps. It really, really helps. It helps a lot.
Advice for a new mom,
Yeah.
what would that be?
Very new mom, like with a baby, not sleeping at night and everything. You have to sleep when the baby sleeps, especially during the day. In the night, I mean, it's natural. You're not really going to get much sleep unless you want the baby to starve, which is not good. So, but during the day, you know, they can sleep quite a bit, and that is not the time that you have to do chores.
It's hard.
If it's hard, you have to ask for help. You know, you have to make an arrangement with your spouse or whoever that you live with to chip in. You don't have to be shy about asking because back home we have this idea that the woman is supposed to do everything, but really you don't. That is why, excuse me to say, a lot of our African women have not really aged well because they don't really ask for help when they do it. They try to do everything on their own, so they easily get tired. The body gets tired, and they start getting older, looking older than they actually are. So you have to ask for help, and then you have to sleep when the baby sleeps, especially during the day. And then another, like as the children try to grow, you don't have to don't start what you can continue. And then you don't have to do everything that every mom recommends, right? You don't have to try. Every child is different. You have to look for cues from your child. My eldest daughter doesn't really like eating much. My youngest one eats well. It's possible that we learned a lot of things from her eating habits to help the younger one eat better. So you just have to listen to the cues from your child. Not everything that everyone recommends has to be practiced. Yeah, you don't have to do everything. And then as much as possible, you also have to try to make time for yourself, also for your spouse, especially with the new moms. Sometimes all the attention gets to be on the baby, and then you tend to forget the spouse. But you should also try to make time for the both of you. and also for yourself. Yeah. And then as they grow, I mean, some of these things, like, they are more or less natural, because I always thought that I would need my mom to be here, but then I realized that I'm also, quite capable. Yeah.
Right.
So we learn a lot from nurses, from doctors. We learn a lot from books, learn a lot from people, but every child is different.
Thank you so much, Patience.
Thank you so much for having me.